Right? My mom is always so shocked when I tell her the things that I eat now because as a kid, I would barely eat anything.
I ain't look up
Yeah.
that word, girl. I'm gonna cut that part out. Got me looking dumb.
I would eat hot dogs with the skin peeled off, peanut butter
The skin
sandwiches with no
peeled
crust.
off. Your mom was
Yes, my
peeling these
mom had,
skins for you,
she
girl.
was.
Oh, before we get started, I got this tea. You know, the yogi teas, they have
Yeah.
little messages on the tea bag. Today's message is your potential self is infinite.
Ooh, I like that.
Me too. That's crazy.
I really
Your,
like that.
your potential self is infinite. Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is where you are. This morning, this podcast episode, we are going to be talking about food related to autism and autism related disorders. Today, I have my friend with me back again, your girl, Lex.
Hello.
What did you eat this morning?
I sure did. I had some
Okay.
cereal, a nice mix of Raisin Bran and Cocoa Pebbles.
You guys can email me with these questions, any of your questions. My email is shaeandstacy@gmail.com. So today we have a question from Ace Boogie. They say, I have a 5-year-old son whom I am having a very hard time with. There's more to the email, but I'm going to cut right to the chase, okay? And don't worry, Ace, if you're listening, I will get to your other questions in another podcast, but this one is heavy. Okay, they say he refuses to eat food. The only food that we can actually get him to eat is chicken, bacon, snacks. Some days, weeks, and months he refuses to even eat the chicken and will settle for bacon and snacks. Not only that, he drinks Pediasure on the daily to get his nutrients. I cannot get him to eat fruits or vegetables. No sides, no applesauce, just chicken or bacon and his snacks. Did you all experience this with Stacy, or has he always been a foodie? And then they apologize for the long message. You don't apologize. I like long messages. I found in my research, y'all already know I'm about to research. I found in my research one article from autismspeaks.org. I usually don't mess with them, and that's a whole nother subject. But yeah, I know you don't like them either. But they do have a little bit of good information. So I'm gonna just go ahead and read the small bit of information. But disclaimer, I usually don't like them. Okay, but they say autism often comes with hypersensitivity to textures. We all know this, right? Sensory issues. So remember that it may be how a food feels in the mouth rather than its flavor that produces a food aversion.
But apparently food neophobia, people with that can also have ARFID, the aversion, and that's what kind of causes them to be afraid of trying new foods, and they tend to stick to their safe foods.
That is very interesting.
But as a kid, it was so bad. Like, one of my safe foods was bologna sandwiches, like with the crust peeled off, and it was only Boar's Head bologna. I was at my mom's friend's house one time, and they tried to feed me Thuman's bologna instead. I picked it up, smelled it, put it down. I was like, this isn't Boar's Head.
It wasn't right.
I wouldn't eat it.
It wasn't right. It wasn't right, girl. But no, I get it. So this article, it just says NCBI. So I guess that's an acronym for somebody. Look it up if you want to. Google NCBI. But yeah, like Lex was saying, it talks about food neophobia, also known as FN. It says it's common among children with autism spectrum disorder, potentially impairing their health and diet quality. So that's what the moms are worried about. Like, if they could eat the same food and get all the nutrients they need, I'm sure we wouldn't care. I'm sure we wouldn't.
Right.
That's what we're worried about. Is impairing their health and stuff. So they did a study in Brazil, and it depends on what happens to the baby as far as food. When the baby grows up, it'll develop into
ARFID, ARFID. It's avoidant restrictive food intake disorder.
Okay, yes. So it can develop into that or FN. Like I said, it can develop. So if your baby is younger, these are the things that could potentially cause it. It's influenced by heredity. It can also be influenced by prenatal experiences. That's crazy.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Right? Even before the baby is born,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
means like whatever you are eating. Let's think about this, ladies. Come on now. Think about this. Did you eat healthy when you was pregnant? I didn't.
Mm. My mom's
Absolutely not.
diet is actually very restrictive as well, and so was my grandma's. So that actually makes a lot of sense.
Says it also can be influenced by parental influence on eating habits. So when they're after they're born, what you do with them matters. It's not just about what you give them to eat. It's about how you give it
Yeah.
to them. It's about how you present it. So that's something to watch out for. But also, Lex, how do you think we can avoid like influencing negative eating habits?
Um, I would say definitely working with them when you find out a safe food of theirs. I see sometimes parents suggesting things like trying to sneak vegetables in, and that I think is terrible advice. Don't mess with the safe foods because then they might stop eating that and they will develop trust issues around food. So, honesty when introducing foods to your kid that struggles with this, I think, is very important. Letting them see you eating the food too, let them play with it, try to develop overall healthy eating habits where they're not associating fear and discomfort with trying new foods and with eating, because that can cause a lot of issues that then need to be undone down the road, which is much harder.
Mm. When you say let them play with it, you mean actually handling with their hands and do whatever they want before they eat it.
Yeah, let them check it out, smell it, check out the texture, see how it feels. Like things like that can let them explore with it, because there could be a lot of different things that contribute to the food aversion, and they probably don't have the language to tell you. I mean, even as an adult now, I'm only just starting to be able to put to words what my struggles with food are.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they probably really don't understand what's happening to them. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely get that. And for me, so this is I don't know if you guys remember the last episode or if you're not and watched last episode, Lex is autistic. So
Yes.
the things she are speaking are her experience. Okay. So you take that for what you will. All right. But I trust her. I trust her. But for me, because I'm an autism mom, the thing that helped me bring new foods to Stacy is that I didn't care if he ate it or not. I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to give it to him, and I didn't want him to have a meltdown. That's it. That's all I required from him. When I bring him new food, that's all I require. Here you go. You want some? If he says no, that's cool. I'm going to take it away.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that a long time. So to get him to eat his vegetables, I had to do that repeatedly. Because a lot of
Yeah.
y'all say that, and I say too that Stacy's a good eater. He is, but he don't like vegetables. None. The only vegetable he like
I
is
didn't
spinach.
I didn't eat vegetables until I was an adult, and I struggle a lot with fruit as well. And I now realize that for me, with my ARFID, and I see a lot of other people that have ARFID say the same, like gravitating more towards processed foods because it's reliable and it's predictable.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to taste the same every time. Where with fruits and vegetables and other like fresh foods, there can be some element that's off. You have to think about how ripe it is. There you can get a
Mm-hmm.
certain bean that has a totally different texture, flavor, and then it's like that's a bad food now and you won't eat it at
Mm.
all. So I definitely didn't eat really vegetables until I was into my
Yeah.
20s.
The way I introduced him to the first thing was salad because it looks similar to the spinach that he liked. So I was able to get him to eat a sandwich with fresh spinach. Fresh spinach is like it's leafy, it just looked like a leaf. And he
Yeah.
liked that. So I was like, if I can just get him to eat some lettuce, any kind of lettuce, then I can move on to salads because all the stuff in the salad, he likes it. I brought him just a small piece of lettuce, and I was like, you want a bite? This is good. And he was like, no. So I took it away. Next day, I bought it again. I took it away. So it took 2 weeks of that. And then finally, somebody was like, why don't you put a drop of ranch on it? Everybody knows he likes ranch. So I was like, man, you're right. So I put a drop of ranch and then put another drop. I was like, you want some? He was like, wait a minute now. I was like, here. So he grabbed it. He licked the ranch off and then he gave it back. So he gave it back to me. But my point is, after months and months and months of doing that, he finally ate that lettuce. And then we gave him a salad. It took a little bit to get him to eat the salad, but after months more, he ate the salad. And now I can bring him a salad with anything in it. He is going to tear it up. He's going to tear it up.
Right.
Yes. So Stacy's pretty healthy now. But yeah, these things take time. From Ace from the email actually said that little man is drinking the Pediasures. So that's really good. That's good.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
really
go a
good.
while, like practice now while he's drinking the Pediasure. When he gets a little bit older, like middle school, because that's what Stacy's doctor told me. When he gets to middle school, then it's time to worry. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's not gaining weight, etc. Then it's time to worry. Okay, he's little now. So let him keep drinking that Pediasure and eating his bacon. Eating his bacon.
Something that worked for my mom is she probably catered to my pickiness a little bit too much. But one thing she did when I reached like 5, 6, 7 and would start eating at friends' houses, she would coordinate with the parents. And so at home, I was allowed to eat my safe foods, but she'd coordinate with the parents. And when I ate at someone else's house, the rule was I had to put everything on my plate and at least try it. I didn't have to finish it, but I had to be polite at their home and try it. And that really helped me at a lot more things. Like I tried spaghetti that way. I finally tried pizza. Like I was in like kindergarten before I would even try pizza. At least try it, pick it up, smell it, lick it, whatever you got to do, try it. And no pressure to finish or like it though. And I think that really made a huge difference. And I started eating a lot more things.
Take the pressure out of it. Like it's not a big deal if you don't. That's what they need to think. It's not a big deal if you don't. And then there are levels to it. So as far as Lex was saying, you can let them, have a little lick, you can let them touch. I did levels. So when I would bring the lettuce, as soon as Stacy saw the lettuce, he would start freaking out. So I was okay with at least him looking at it without having a meltdown at first. And then it was like, okay, just touch it.
It also gives them autonomy, which is really huge. I know with children, obviously you have to make choices for them, but with, autistic children, and this is the becomes more true the higher support needs they have, they don't have a lot of agency. They have, they need your help for a lot of things. They don't get to make a lot of choices. And so allowing them to feel in control of what they're putting in their body to an extent, that really can make such a difference down the road, having autonomy, especially when we otherwise feel like we lack it in so many situations.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Thank you for that. As parents, I don't think we do realize that kids feel like they have no control over nothing. Not even the food that they eat.
Obviously, that doesn't mean you put them completely in charge of their own diet at 5 years old, but you ultimately the future is what you're trying to set them up for. And are we as adults forcing each other to eat vegetables that we hate? Not unless you I mean, I've never as an adult been in a situation where someone like held me down and forced me to eat a vegetable. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
And if you give them food issues younger, that can really carry with them, and then they might just avoid it altogether as an adult.
Back to the article, I'm gonna just summarize because we went over everything. It can also be brought on by child anxiety, sensory preferences, and just an innate preference for certain flavors. Certain flavors, they like them, they want to repeat them.
I notice a lot of like autistic kids like see their parents say they eat toast, they eat chicken nuggets, but very bland things that are like not too many overwhelming flavors, not too many spices. It's consistent, it's predictable.
Okay, so maybe let's leave the seasonings out, moms that are trying to cook and give their kids the home cook, like at least for their plate. You could add it after.
Go ahead and pull it up. The article was talking about the difference between food neophobia and ARFID because I did not know about food neophobia. Apparently, they can go hand in hand together. With ARFID can come the phobia of trying new foods.
In this article is by Array Behavioral Care. And they say, as far as ARFID and food neophobia, FN, occupational therapy can help children with this sensitivity. They should be shown, children with food neophobia and ARFID should be shown positive mealtime dynamics, like me and Lex were talking about. Make it positive, okay? Take out that negative stuff, the pressure, the anxiety, the I have to eat this, I have to eat the whole thing, take it out. For example, they should sit where they feel comfortable. Is that important, Lex?
I think it definitely can be. Because a lot of times, in my experience, when it comes to things even outside of food that like as autistics will avoid, it's because of the associations. And once we get these negative associations, we'll sometimes avoid a thing altogether because our brain is so used to seeing patterns in things and being kind of rigid. So if we in our brains think, okay, this thing, mealtime, causes me dysregulation, it causes me fear, there's going to be a lot of anxiety around that. So I think that, you know, things like not forcing them to sit at, a certain spot on the table or whatever the case may be, whatever is the most comfortable and has the best outcome. Because again, people focus a lot on, oh, well, I need my kid to be healthy by eating their vegetables, but they're not looking at the bigger picture where we're thinking about healthy habits down the line.
Absolutely. Okay, so you heard it. It's important. And I'm sure they already got their own seat. I know Stacy does. In every room, he has that one seat that nobody sits in because we respect it. That's his seat. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and at the table is no different. Nobody sits in Stacy's seat at the kitchen table. Nobody. So I'm sure your child has a spot too. Let them sit there. Let them watch their family members eat also. So it's okay if they just sitting there and watching you and not eating. That's okay. This will help make eating seem more enjoyable, especially if the child has a negative association with eating, such as a history of being scolded or forced to eat something he or she did not want to, as is common with frustrated households. Like, you know what I'm saying? And this was 2011, but it's still common. We're all frustrated. And we're like, you need to eat this, eat it. That's how we want to do it. But we're here to tell you, you don't have to do it like that. You don't have to do it like that. You can do it any way you want to, actually. Actually, so whatever somebody told you, that's the way you have to do it. Your kids need to eat their vegetables. You do what you want, okay? And we telling you, they are going to be okay, especially if they're drinking their Pediasure. Pediasure is the safe. Oh, Stacy was on it for a while too. Okay, Pediasure is good for them, I say, and they now have like new flavors. I didn't even know that.
I was a kid, I ate like three things as a kid. I would eat like bologna with the skin peeled off, and it had to be boar's head. I would eat hot dogs with the skin peeled off, peanut butter
The skin
sandwiches with no
peeled
crust.
off. Your mom was
Yes, my
peeling these
mom had.
skins for you,
She was.
girl.
When I say she catered to me a little too much, that's what I mean. She, all right, if that
Yeah,
means you'll eat it, I'll peel the skin.
that's so sweet. I wish I would peel the
Yeah.
skin. She's so nice. And that's the thing too. That's you got it. You got it. And if
Yeah.
you find that one healthy thing that they like, buy lots of
Mm-hmm.
it. Buy lots. That's all I can
Yeah.
say. Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's, whatever. What y'all got over there, Lex?
Um. Oh man, in my area, we don't. I don't think we even have that anywhere near.
You got something happening?
I know.
Sad face. Sad face. But try to buy it in bulk. That's all I'm saying. When I found out Stacy
Yeah.
like those little kid cuisine dinners, because they had the little
Mm-hmm.
vegetables in it too. When I
Yeah.
found out he liked those things, man, stocked up. Stocked up. The freezer was full of it. Full of it. I was so happy he was eating that corn because he had never eat corn
Yeah.
before.
When a company will change one ingredient in their food, like I could tell the difference. And I know a lot of other people with art can say the same too. Like So companies do that sometimes, and they don't even
Yeah,
say
they do.
nothing. They just sell it like it is, and then it's like, wait a second, this is wrong. This is
Wow,
not
I
the
never
right
even
thing.
thought of that. Yeah, they do. They do. And they're causing issues for you. And I'm sure many other autistic people, they probably like, what in
Yeah,
the world did you do to my nugs? They taste different. Now I gotta
this
find
ain't
different
right.
nugs. God,
Yep.
I can see that being a problem, girl. I'm sorry you gotta go through that. What the nugs you eating right now? We're gonna send you some. But no, yes. So let's wrap up, shall we? You ready to wrap up, girl? You got anything else you want to say?
And that's about it. I think we pretty much covered everything. To wrap it up, just to reiterate, um, be patient, let them be involved with as much of the process as possible, and even the grocery shopping, but the food prep, make it positive and fun. Let them see you eating it too. And be honest with them is huge because they will know the difference if they have this kind of food disorder. They already know the difference. You're not going to fool them.
Mm-hmm.
But just be patient and focus on the long term and think about healthy habits overall instead of just like isolating, I need them to eat this specific thing right now. Um, and that's pretty much it for that. Go ahead and plug my social media. I am on Instagram _, lucid circles _
Yes, her Instagram is lit too. I love it. I actually started watching because she hoops. That's one of her special
I do.
interests, and it is so relaxing to watch, honey. So relaxing to
Thank
watch.
you.
And you be putting that music behind it. I'll be like, yeah, get it, Lex. I be wondering what you're gonna do next, honestly. But
Me
yes, go
too.
follow her on the gram. Go follow her on the gram if you like that kind of stuff. And I mean, she does other stuff too. So go follow
I
her.
do. I post a lot of my hoop videos to my feed, and then on my story, I talk about more personal things. I'll talk about what it's like for me navigating the world as a neurodivergent person. I like to connect with my audience a lot on my stories. So if you're into those kind of conversations, feel free to follow along.
Mm-hmm. Because we like to talk. That's how we became friends. We like to talk, okay?
We
My
do.
last little wrap up is for the cooking parents, the parents that, try to give their kids the home cooked meals. Okay. So I found that it was much easier to get Stacy to try. Now, this might not be every child, okay? So don't take it and run. It was easier to get Stacy to try foods when they were all in one pot. And the reason why I say that is because it causes it to be, what's the word I'm looking for, Lex? It's more sane, if you know what I mean. There are some that don't like their food to touch, but when I presented Stacy with the fried rice, it had the green onions in it. It had the chicken in it. Obviously, he liked the chicken. That's when I introduced sausage to him. It has sausage and scrambled eggs. Okay. Now, when I gave it to him, I wasn't sure if he was going to eat it or not, and I told y'all I didn't require him to eat it, so I just brought it to him, and he tried it. And ever since then, he's been eating fried rice. And then I started being able to add other things to the rice. Now he eating zucchini in the fried rice. You know what I'm saying? So
there you go.
That could be something to try for my moms that cook. Don't go too crazy. And honestly, if they don't like rice, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So just think about it and something to think about. That's my last little
Love
nugget.
rice.
You love
Absolutely
rice?
love rice.
Is that one of my foods?
One of my current safe foods is that 1 minute white rice. I make that with scrambled egg, and then I put shredded cheese on top. Oh my God.
Girl,
I could eat that every day.
good. That sounds good.
It's so good. It's
they
so
make the
good. It's a
brown
nice
rice in those
balance.
cups now too, huh?
They do?
Yep.
Ooh.
That's what I feed the baby. Brown rice. But yeah, look, y'all, we got the secrets, okay? We've been around here doing it. All right. So if you know a friend or anybody that's going through the same and you like this video and it helped you out, please share it with your friend, because we want all our kids to be successful and healthy when they grow up. But right now, when they little, like son that's age 5, we just gonna let him drink his Pediasure, and then we're gonna practice every day with the food that you want him to eat. But he doesn't have to eat it now. No pressure. Okay, we just don't want you to have a meltdown. That's the goal. So
yes, fed is best ultimately. Fed and regulated.
Yes, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with son eating bacon. He gonna bulk up.
I love bacon.
All right, bacon gotta be one of those safe foods, man. It's bacon, and I hear a lot of parents say chicken nuggets. That's the overall. Everybody like nuggets.
I love nuggets.
Everybody do you like those Chick-fil-A nuggets?
I don't know if I've had those.
No? Stacy loves them.
No.
He prefers them over McDonald's nuggets. They must be good. But yeah, so thank you guys again for watching me and Lex. We gonna do it again next week. Please let us know. You can email me, like I said, shaeandstacy@gmail.com, or you can put it in the comments. Like I said, Lexi is autistic, so you can actually get advice from an autistic adult and she remembers when she was a kid. She remembers those details. So she remembers how she felt and all that stuff. So this can give you an insight on what your child might be thinking or feeling now. Okay, so we're gonna do it again, and please put whatever topics you want us to touch on. We will look it up. We're gonna do the heavy lifting. We're gonna research, and then we're gonna talk about it. And we're gonna try to help you. We're gonna try. I think we help some people.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And these kids don't eat eventually, okay? And you let me know, Ace, if you tried this and it's working or not working, okay? I will personally email you back and make sure you're good, Ace, because you took your time out to write this email. So if you're having any problems, please reach out again, all right? I'm gonna help you, okay? Thanks for coming. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody loves that bye, don't they?